coming to launch your international local. We're going to talk about that. But looking at the current situation in the Gambian music industry, what do you have to say about it? Because there is a lot of noise on social media.
Well, all I can say is that, it's disappointing, at some point, because I want us to understand one thing as Gambian artists, if we don't unite, there is no future for us. The reason why I said this is since Gambian music started, have you ever seen Gambian music reached a level that you yourself can say, wow, man, these guys are making hella money? It has never been to that point, so what's the fuss for? What's the fighting for? I believe if we come together, that's why on my album I have this song called Feelings.
Fans and Jizzle fans on Twitter and on TikTok where a little bit clash.
Yeah.
The time you had an interview with, I don't know, VM.
Yeah.
You mentioning you being the number 2 or ST being the number 1.
Yeah.
There was this little bit controversy, between your fans. I'm not talking about you.
No.
There was this controversy on they've been TikToking a song from Jizzle.
Yeah. Talking about
Yeah,
I know that song. I've
when you are together,
you
understand.
Seen all of that, but I believe Jizzle was never directing those songs to me because it would be stupid dissing somebody that you have on a record on an album.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. So I believe he was talking to a different individual because I've seen people that took that very personal.
Yeah.
Artists that took it personal, but I never took it personal because I knew it was never something that was directed to me at the first place. And then I know a certain time that somebody really said something that has to do with him towards his claim for whatever it is title he is. So I believe maybe the record was because of that, because I've never talked shit about talked shit about Jizzle on the internet. It was always love because this is a person that has inspired me in so many ways, even though I'm older than him for a month or so, but I always have looked up to him somehow, you feel me, because he had been here before me, you understand, and you gotta be a believer. The statement I made last year on the interview is that anybody's entitled to your opinion, and I'm talking about a current point of view of mine. This is where I state myself at. Anybody can come and say he is number 75, he is number 1. You understand? You are entitled to your opinion, but that's my opinion. And I don't feel like Jizzle himself had a problem with me claiming that. But the fans are the fans. I cannot tell the fans what to do.
The reason why I'm asking about that time was let's talk a little bit spiritual.
Yeah.
On your career, Hussain Dada, which time do you normally write your songs? In which of your moments do you write most of your songs?
Well, actually, if I tell you I have a specific moment writing songs, I'll be lying to you. It depends. Me, the way I write songs is that I listen to a beat. Right now, you play me a beat. If I can make 2 lines on that beat or 4 lines, I play a beat and pa 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 pa. Trust me, I wouldn't want that vibe to cut without killing that verse. If the beat plays and then I see myself going deep into it, I always want to kill it because I know once I just leave it, the vibe might just go away.
Hello to all our wonderful viewers and to all our wonderful followers. This is another wonderful podcast for all the viewers that are watching. This is Lura, the ultimate boss. Today we are gonna be having the international local all the way from Sukuta. We introduce you Hussain Dada in the building. Hussain, you welcome to the Ultimate Podcast, boss.
Hey, yo, what up, my people? What up, my man? Ultimate, it's been a minute. We are the Ultimate Podcast. It's about to go down. Y'all stay tuned. Hussain Dada is in the building.
Is in the building. Runway nigga. Okay, Hussain, we are gonna welcome you on the Ultimate Podcast. It's an open conversation. We are gonna converse about your career, your childhood, everything about Hussain Dada from the beginnings to the current situation right now. Hussain, the big man, the baddest thing right now in the Gambia, the most wanted artist right now, cooking up his biggest thing, coming soon, Hussain, I'm gonna revive back a little bit on your career. I want us to start from your big upbringing, the childhood memories and everything that is from your childhood time. So I want to start about your your birthplace.
Well, I was born in Banjul, you know, and then I lived there for like a couple of years before moving to Sokoto.
So your parents are like, talking about your parents, your dad is a original Mandinka or?
My dad is a Jahanka, my mom is a Jahanka as well.
Your original name?
My dad is from Basa Damfakunda.
Basa Damfakunda?
My mom is from Bakadaji.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all of your childhood memories, you spend it at Banjul and Sokoto?
Yes, Banjul and Sokoto. Yeah.
Okay.
Most of it in Sokoto.
Like
just 4 years in Banjul, and then the rest till,
So let's talk about your nursery school level. Like, where did you school?
I did nursery school in Bethel.
Bethel?
Yeah.
Where is Bethel?
In Banjul.
In Banjul?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did primary school in Victory Gospel, which is at Bakote. I was already at Sokoto by then. You know, and then before I started junior school, I had to be taken to a boarding school, to memorize the Quran and stuff. So I was there for like 8 months, and then I came back. So I didn't actually do a junior school in English. I just left from grade 6, and then when I was in English school from grade 6, and then when I came back after 4 years, I just went straight to grade 10.
Grade 10?
Yeah.
Okay, which boarding school did you went to?
It was at Mandinari.
Mandinari?
Yeah.
Okay, can you disclose the name of the boarding school?
Actually, I don't know the name.
You don't know the name? That was your childhood time?
Not based on childhood, but we never had a name for it.
Okay.
There was not a signboard on it or entrance door. It was just, you just come in. It's in Mandinari. It's a Dada in Mandinari, and then that's it. But I've never heard a name for it anyway, so...
But you started learning English in that school? No.
I did primary school till grade 6 in Victory Gospel, which is an English school. So from grade 6, I went to Dara. And I was in Dara when I came. I continued in Arabic school. I did grade 7 in Arabic school. And then I never did grade 8. I never did grade 9. So I just went straight to grade 10 in 10. English school. Yeah.
That is in Bakote?
No. That's in... Charles Fowles.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about your days in the boarding school, that Dara place. Yeah. How was your behavior there like?
Well, it's never easy for anybody, being taken from your home, to a new environment, with different people, so it was a difficult experience, but the beauty of it is like it helps you become more humble because like you live with different people, you stay with like 15 people in one room, 16, 20 people in just one room, so you guys just you live life the hard way, you deal with life the hard way. You learn to live in the hard way, like you learn to cope with situations like that, so it wasn't an easy experience for me, coming like knowing that you have to leave your family behind. I was there with my younger ones, I was the oldest from home. Oldest. Yeah, so
how many of you?
It was 7 of us.
Even
from
your
the
sisters?
same house. No, just boys.
Your brothers?
Yeah, it was one of my little brother from the same mom and dad, and all the rest were my nephews. Yeah, so it was 6, 7 of us kind of.
Like, can we say that like the humbleness that is on Hussain Dada was nurtured from that time?
I won't actually say it was, because I would say the humbleness came from like my home. We came from a humble beginning. My dad, had never taught us, how to look down on people and stuff like that. So it was kind of from home where all the humility came from. The Dada just added to it, like, to be more understanding about like life. Life can take a different turn in someone's life and stuff like that. But the humbleness came from home.
Are your parents still alive, Hussain? Like your dad and your mom?
My dad is not alive, but my mom is alive.
Sorry for that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, my dad, he passed away 2008. That very year I was in the boarding school. Yeah, so he passed away. I was in boarding school.
May his soul rest in peace.
Ameen.
Okay. Hussain, that's a very sad, humble beginnings, and like we are saying, like sorry for all the past that you have gone through. Like I can see, like the journey is like a long journey, Like, Hussain, like let's talk about your relationship with your family, like your mother, your siblings. Looking at it, like sometimes you do post your videos with your sisters, your brothers. Like there is this connection with you people. Like what do you have to say about them? Like
well, actually, these are people I grew up with. We grew up in the same house. It's a big house, extended family. Some of them are my siblings from the same dad. Some of them are my siblings from the same mom and dad. Some of them are my nephews. So this are my nieces. My uncles. My aunties and stuff like that. So we grew up together. We're used to each other. Like I've never really had many friends outside home because everything I wanted was there at home.
Was there for you.
My closest people by then in the past were all my family members. My best friends were my nephews, or either my brothers, or you understand what I mean. So that bond was always there, because like you look at the age gap, it's not more than 7 years. Some of them I'm older than them like 3 years. Some of them it's 2 years. Some of them are older than me 2 years. So you can tell like we grew up together, around the same period of time. So that really helped us in coexisting, and understanding each other as individuals.
Yeah. Now let's take Hussain Dada from home to the street.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about Hussain, like Hussain is that kind of a ghetto vibe artist.
Yeah.
So how did you get that ghetto lifestyle?
Yeah. Well, most of it comes from the music that I listen to. Because like I'm not gonna sit here and say much about it because I've never ever really lived the ghetto life.
Yeah, the street life.
I've never really lived the street life. But like whether you live the street life in Gambia or not, you experienced it. Because it's not like I'm a rich kid or whatever. I've gone through my own struggles and stuff like that. But what I mean about like I've never lived the ghetto life is like I've never been outside there like that.
Yeah.
Even though I have friends, sometimes we sit together outside and stuff, but it has never been my thing.
Is it that like you kind of that person where you have more of visitors
exactly, because I'm an introvert. I don't really go out that much. I'm always indoors and
but
stuff
you are
like
connected
that.
with the street. That is the hood,
big time. All my friends, most of them are all
hood boys.
Yeah, so that's
from the beginnings, like let's talk about your hobbies from your beginnings. Like were you into movies or were you into music or what kind of stuff do you do in your normal your free time in your childhood days? Childhood days.
Yeah, it was both. I used to watch movies a lot. I used to listen to music a lot. So most of the people at home, when they see me become an artist, most of them are not surprised because the thing is, you knew this guy always listening to songs. He's always vibing to this. I'm always cramming songs. A song will come out and then in 1 week I've already known all the lyrics to the song. So people are not, but movies too. I used to watch a lot of movies and stuff like. So these were two of my like those are my hobbies, growing up, like most of my important ones that I always do frequently, like watch movies and then listen to a lot of music.
In my childhood days, I could remember there was a movie that was trending, like the Boys in the Hood, Ice Cube, Friday. What kind of movies were you into? Like
well, actually, I was in with the black movie like that. I was more like the commercial movies, like the Spider-Mans, the Harry Potters.
Okay.
Like this were my kind of.
That was the generation.
Those were my kind of vibe. Those are the generation I grew up under. Because like y'all might be in the more older days than us. So we grew up like watching movies like Spider-Man, Matrix, movies like Harry Potter. Those were the kind of movies that we were into as young kids.
Let's go a little bit fast forward on your career, Hussain Dada. When did you start realizing that you want to be an artist or you want to go in for this craft that you are doing right now? Like, in which of your age did you decided like you wanna start at least?
There will probably be 2010.
2010.
Yeah, 2010. I believe because like, okay, I can say in 2007, I performed at there was this talent show at Marina. I was just a young boy, like 13 years. I was 13 years or so. There was this talent show in Marina, so I came on stage and I performed Soulja Boy's Crank That. Okay. But like, I never had it in mind to be an artist by then because I wasn't crazy. My dad was alive, my family and stuff like that. But like 2010, I had this family member, Nizo. I always send him a shout out on every interview that I'm on. So he is doing music, I'm always with him. I always love his songs. I always do promos for him. So sometimes I will go to his room. He has a lot of beats, like instrumentals in his computer. So I'll be listening to all these beats. I'll be like, just freestyling, even though the freestyles are not good. But I always do freestyles. I'm like, man, you know, let me just keep doing it. So that's how I kept doing. That's how I kept doing till 2011. You know, I recorded a track in 2011 with one of my nephews, even though the lyrics wasn't good, you know, and stuff. But like everything starts from somewhere. So that's how we got there.
Yeah, that was a nice thing to say. Like I can see that like I've started streaming on your song. That was the Sukuta Boyo.
Yeah.
The first song I started streaming, that song was the video was done by Lamin Sen.
Lamin Sen, yeah.
Can you tell us before that song how did it came about for you to release that song? Because that was your first single that I officially recognized Hussain Dada as an artist.
Yeah, because when I said 2010, I started music as like just a youth. I didn't have a vision for music. I didn't have a vision becoming a big artist or whatever. So music was just a school thing, you know, because I was in Charles Follies, and then 2012, from 2010 to 2012, I moved to SOS. When I moved to SOS, I met a couple of guys. 2012, we started doing music together as a group. But like those were just school days. 2013, I left the music scene. I wasn't doing music at all because of family pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't doing music from 2013, 14, 15, 16 was when I came back.
That was the time you released that song.
So 2016 when I came, the first song I released was like Burger featuring Mass Murder. You know, that was the first song I released, and then I released Broken Glass, which was the second single, and then the third one was this song with Black Kings, Logic, and this guy Benik, and then the fourth song, that's the one you just mentioned. That's Sukuta, the Sukuta Boyo song.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, the reason why we came up with that song, that Sukuta Boyo, was because I was never a popular image in Sukuta.
Okay.
Yeah, music gave me that popularity in Sukuta. I was never a popular image. I was never a popular being like, if you ask somebody back in 2016 starting, who is Hussain? No one would have known who you're talking about.
Yeah, even the image.
Exactly. Yeah. So when we came, we used the Sukuta Boyo slogan, which came from the Brikama Boyo anyway. That was like, because SD was using the Brikama Boyo, so and then me being a big fan, you know, I was like, it's not gonna be a big problem using Sukuta Boyo as well. So like when we used the Sukuta Boyo, so I had the idea to do a song for Sukuta. Maybe that might give us that acceptance that we are looking for.
Yeah, the identity.
From the people. Exactly. Yeah. So that was how we came up with the song. As for Junior Sen, Lamin Sen, I grew up under him. We grew up from the same area. You know, ever since I came to Sukuta, he was there. Like, you know, so I grew up under him. He's my guy. So when he saw me doing music, you know, one of his guys that lives in our house was like, I want to sponsor a video for you. So that's how we paid Lamin Sen.
Okay, you paid for the video.
Yeah, he gave us a mad discount.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout outs to Lamin Sen.
Yeah, shout outs to him.
He played a great role in the building of Gambian music and the recent ages, the times of Freaky Joe, you know, the times of Njaibi and Jalex, and that era, you know. Big up to Lamin Sen, bro. You know. Yeah, man. Yeah, watching your youth right now doing biggest things right now in Gambia.
Just yesterday, he sent me a message. He saw my album cover, you know, and he texted me, nice one. I'm like, big man, you know, man. You know where he started from. So,
yeah. Hussain, like, let's talk about you and fast forward you and like Chanta.
Yeah, Chanta.
You and Chanta was one of the biggest thing, you know, that was grooming in the Gambia. Like your collaboration, your partnership was like a huge impact on the Gambian music industry.
Definitely.
You know, you did a great collaboration with him. You know, produced a lot of songs. You know, both of you were like I can say the advantage between both of you was like, it's an impact on both of your careers. You know, most of your raps doing it in Mandinka with Chanta, with the wall of verse and stuff.
It was a versatile combination.
You know. So recently, I just want to put this question on you, because recently, most of the music followers don't even understand what was going on or what is even going on right now. Because recently, we haven't seen Dada doing any song with Chanta for the last 2 years. I thought in your last album, the last album you did, there was no combination with you and Chanta.
No, he was on the last album.
He was on the last album?
He was on the last album. But then the thing is, you know, in as much as I love working with Chanta, he's my brother, he's my family till date, you know, we were never a group, you know, but we had this chemistry, and then the fact that you made a point clear is that the Mandinka Wolof kind of you know combination was making too much sense, because for people that don't understand me as a Mandinka and then the Wolofs will understand Chanta, So they would definitely listen to our sounds because Chanta is there. People that understand the Maninka and don't understand the Wolof will definitely listen to the sound because I'm the Maninka guy there. So like, that was creating unity between both
of you.
Yeah, both of the sides, both of the listening sides. But as time goes on, in as much as like you work with people, but y'all always have different tastes. Like I'm a person that I might like this, Chanta might not like it. I'm a person I can like this, he might not like it. So that's just human nature. That's why most of the groups lately you don't see them going far because like people have different personalities, different tastes, different things they love. So that's why sometimes it doesn't work. So like in our case, it wasn't like that. It wasn't until 2019 which we told ourselves that like maybe we need to work on our solo projects and see how far that's gonna go. And since we started dipping into that solo projects, that was when things start separating. Till we both realized.
But the relationship is still smooth.
Yes, my family, man. I just called him like last week.
Yeah.
We was talking. So we always talk.
We wishing him good luck. We wishing Chana good luck.
Definitely.
More success.
Definitely.
Because the reason why I'm asking is that I was a fan. Personally, I was a fan of both of your music. So like the collaboration was really good. But recently, since you started producing your albums and your singles, like it's like there was a little difference between you and him because there is more Hussain Dada on the stream, on the radios, on everything. But Chana is still
that's why I said people are not the same. Maybe he felt like he need to just take his time, work on himself, work on his craft. People have different ways of working. Like there are artists that are always on the media, always on the mainstream, and there are artists that just prefer just like being a low key artist till when they have things to say, and then they just come out and then boom, they're there.
Yeah. Hussain, like we're going bit by bit on the interview, on the conversation. I'm really loving the vibe and loving everything that is going on right now. Hussain, like let's talk about your like last year. Last year was the first time you made a big huge success on your concert. That was
year before last. 2021.
Yeah. What was the feeling when you first received your first $1 million in your bank account? How was the feeling?
Well, to everybody, it's always a nice feeling, doing a show that people would definitely show up, and then at the end of the day, you look at the money, you look at, yeah, man, I really worked for this, because at the end of the day, it's your work that you put in, so it was a great feeling, just doing the show, seeing how many people just turned up, how many people there like to celebrate you, because in as much as there are other artists and stuff, but that you were the main event, so it was a great feeling, I could tell you.
Now, like asking you again, like what was that 1 million or what that money 1 million plus? Was it the money that changed your life, or your life was changed before that money?
Well, actually, I would say since before that show in general, my life was always upgrading one way or the other, because like if I look at yesterday and I look at today, I always see a better today than yesterday. So I wouldn't actually say that was what really changed my life, because my life was actually moving even before the show, but it helped a lot.
But after the show, like there are a lot of doors that opened on Hussain's gateway. Like you can see from that, this year you've gone to your international that is your international tour.
Yeah.
For your European tour, we've seen that Hussain is doing a lot of impact on his career. Your YouTube channel is growing. Your songs are grooming.
Yeah.
You've on that year too. You went to Dubai.
Yeah.
You went to Dubai and like everything was going good for you. Now, how is your relationship with that manager still? That the Oga.
Well, me and Oga, like, we're still good. Even though we're not working, I'm not working with Runway anymore.
Okay.
I'm working as a solo artist. But like, I can just say, Oga really played a very big part in whatever it is that, I am today. Because like from when I really thought that, nothing was gonna work out for me. Like when I mean like back in 2016, when nothing was really working, like we were just doing music, but we weren't seeing money, like, you feel me? We were just doing music and then keeping the faith and hope. At a point, like, the family pressure was coming on me. So it was like, why am I doing music if music is not even paying me at the end of the day?
Yeah.
I'm not getting what I'm supposed to. Those were the period of time I met like Oga J. Yeah, so like, meeting him, really like just took me to another dimension, like, you feel me? Like, you know, he really played a big part. You know, I'm not gonna say it's perfect, you know, everybody has their flaws and but I can say that, like, he really played a big part towards, like, you know, me becoming a very established artist, and I'll always appreciate and thank him for that.
Yeah, okay. So Dada, I can see that, like, you are a very humble person. Like, you've been supporting a lot of Gambian artists recently, and you've been so supported in any platform that is in the Gambia. Like, personally, me, I've been working with you since since your beginnings. I can bear witness to your humbleness and your down to earthness. You know, always when I'm chatting with people, like, you know, I always tell them this, like, in this world, if you want to make it far, you must have to be humble and you must have to be down to earth.
Definitely.
Yeah. So looking at you, there are a lot of artists that you are helping out. Like, most of these artists, you know, normally every month I used to see a collaboration from your upcoming artist that is featured by Dada. So how does it go? Like, do you charge for those collaborations, or sometimes do you support like you support just like?
Well, in most cases, you know, like the artists that I always have collaborated with in Gambia, it's always normally for free. You know, the only thing I tell you is that, you know, like, moving from my house to the studio, you know, like, it's me putting an effort. So if you, like, really, if I'm coming with my car, like, if you can just, you know, top a fuel for me, you know, like, you know, just let the environment be vibing, like, you know, let's just vibe. You know, those are the only thing, you know, I cannot remember, like, really charging anybody that lives in Gambia for collabo. You know, but normally the people that don't live in Gambia, you know, and I know that their lifestyle, like, their ways of living is way better than the ones here. Yeah, those ones, you know, we kind of put a price to it, and then at the end of the day, you know, they all cool with it, you know. But yeah, most of the time I just love to see talents growing, because I knew, like, when I was an upcoming artist, how difficult it was. So I always want to, like, see how impactful I can be in one's life, you know. Even at the end of the day, most of the people that I've helped in the Gambian music industry, I don't talk about it, and most of them end up, like, turning to be something else, like, you feel me? You know, because you understand the way Gambian music goes. But, like, that doesn't mean that, you know, I will have to say I have to stop helping, because at the end of the day, whatever you did for somebody, whether in the future they appreciate it or not, you have already done your part, and then that's what's important.
Yeah, that is one thing I really appreciate on your side of life and your side of, you know, living, because sometimes, you know, even Dada, when you pick up your call, you call Dada right now, Dada will not even take 5 seconds to pick up that call.
Yeah.
No matter what. Anytime you call Dada, if he is holding the phone, he must pick the phone. And anytime you message Dada on WhatsApp,
reply, man.
He will reply. You know, it's a good look on your lifestyle. You know, I really appreciate that.
The thing is, you know, I feel like, you know, it's an eye for an eye. You know, if people have been good to you, like, you have to be good to them too as well. You know, I don't want to be the kind of person that you help today, tomorrow you need my help, and then my hands are like this.
I understand.
You know, if I cannot do it, I'll definitely tell you. But if I can, you know, I definitely do without.
That is why I was asking about that humbleness that is in you.
Yeah, like,
was it grown from the was it from the Dada, or was it from your beginnings or your home training? You know,
yeah,
because, you know, a very successful way for them to go to. I always look at you like a Gambian Snoop Dogg. Do you know Snoop Dogg in America?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's always on the trend. He's always on the rise.
Yeah, because it's always giving hand.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg is always there. Like, he never fall. Snoop Dogg is there since from the 90s.
Till now, yeah.
Still now, you know, he's building a connect and cool relationship with everybody.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
So it's a cool thing, though.
Yeah.
Dada, looking at the current situation in the Gambian music industry, you know, recently, I don't want us to talk about that controversial moment right now, because you are into your album mood, coming to launch your international local. We are going to talk about that. But looking at the current situation in the Gambian music industry, what do you have to say about it? Because there is a lot of noise on social media.
Well, all I can say is that, you know, it's disappointing, you know, at some point, you know, like, you know, because, like, I want us to understand one thing as Gambian artists, like, if we don't unite, there is no future for us. Like the reason why I said this is, like, since Gambian music started, have you ever seen Gambian music reached a level that you yourself can say, wow, man, these guys are making hella money? It has never been to that point. You know, so what's the fuss for? Like, what's the fighting for? You know, I believe, like, if we come together, that's why on my album, I have this song called Feelings. It's the first song on the album. You know, this song, like, it started with me telling the fans, you know, about, like, how when people criticize me on the internet, you know, how I be in my feelings. So that very time I was writing the song, I was in my feelings. That very time, you know, I was sitting, no light. Now, you know, they're doing their stuff, you know, no light. And then it happened to be on a day that I was on Twitter, and a lot of people were just talking shit about like my craft and stuff like that. You know, sometimes even if you don't want them to get to you, it does. You know, so I was in my feelings. I was sitting and I was like, you know, I need to download a beat. You know, I want to do something. Even though I know my album was completed by then, but I wanted the album to have this specific song that's gonna talk to the people. So the sound I opened the sound by telling them, when I was writing this song, I was in my feelings, like, you know, like I listened to all the critics, you know, on the internet, you know, and it's getting me. And then now the second phrase of the song, now I'm talking to the artist, you know, like there is a bigger space for us all to shine. We just need to understand that, like, hating one another, you know, having grudges, you know, having hatred in our hearts towards each other is not gonna solve anything. It's just gonna keep hurting the industry. You know, like if we want the industry to be here for the next 20 years and then we want to see progress, look at Senegal music now. Senegal rap music, you cannot compare with the Gambia. They are way ahead of us. You see the kind of videos they're shooting now. Like those are let's say like those are futuristic videos that Senegalese people are shooting now. Like, so if we want to get to a point like that, if we want people to invest in the music, we need to call for unity. You know, so like that's the second phrase of the song. The third phrase, now I'm giving the fans all the praise, because without the fans, there is no money for us. Without the fans, there is no earning for us. Without the fans, we're not popping. So I'm telling the fans that we appreciate you, and then we appreciate all the love. And then now you have the last part of the song, which I'm giving shout outs to every Gambian artist that has really made impact in my own, like in my own view. You know, maybe, okay, it's not everybody that you might know that I've mentioned there, but I believe if you listen to the song and see the amount of people that I've mentioned in the song, almost like 65 to 66 Gambian artists, like in the present and past, you know, you will come to understand that, you know, like when this song comes out, inshallah, like that's my own, like that's my expectation. Then when the song comes out and every other artist that listen to it, you will know that like there is a bigger picture. All this egos, all this ego, like all this ego that we keep adding fuel to our egos, and that it all doesn't make sense. You know, so we need to put our ego aside, our differences aside. Let's build an industry. Once the money is there, we can say fuck to everybody. We can say F word to anybody, because like I learned a lot of lessons from last year. You know, last year I was into controversies and all of that. You know, I don't want to see me going back to things like that. I want to be cool with everybody, because there used to be days that we are all good. There used to be days that we can call each other, we can laugh, we can smile. So like, why not go back to those kind of things? You know, like, so it doesn't make sense, like, you know, fighting my brother. You know, it has to be us against poverty, not us against each other.
Yeah, that's the mindset.
So like, you feel me?
How to build more success and how to create more space for the industry to grow.
Exactly.
For the younger ones to come and at least, you know, I was talking with Uche on the same seat that you were sitting here. Like, he was telling me the same vibe. He told me that like the music you're doing right now is for the fans. And there will be a time you will not have those fans there for you.
Definitely.
So if Hussain Dada's fans are the same fans that are supporting him, why not he come and collaborate with you and like produce the music and give it to the fans? You know, it's the positive mindset to do, you know.
Man.
So Hussain, like, I still respect your mindset, and I still respect the way you are running your, you know, things in the music industry. Like, looking at you, like there is this circle that you are into. Like, sometimes, you know, I know people will be like that. Hussain Dada come like futahre muta, come like mung fu neka mung daf de neka di rola ST. He be rolling with Jizzle. He be rolling with, maybe like you are not that in that mood with Attack right now, but you be rolling with all these people. But on the other side, you will see that like Jizzle's fans, most of them are not in good terms with ST's fans on the internet. But most of the time, I can say that Gambian music followers are all the same. You know, because the same fans that support,
it's just a little bit
the same fans that will support Jizzle are the same fans that will come to ST's luncheon, and those are the same fans that will come to your concert.
Most definitely.
So like, you know, being the artist, you have to be very matured, you know, because without you being matured, you are gonna be left behind.
Yeah.
You know, I respect that on your side. Like, what do you have to say on the song with you and ST?
Yeah.
How did it came about? I wanted to ask about that because that song last year made a huge impact on your career.
Yeah, definitely, because it is my most streamed song ever.
Yeah.
You know, like about that song, you know, myself, like I'm not gonna talk about SD, but myself, you know, I've been trying to have a collab with SD, you know, like since 2017, I think, you know, but it never worked, you know, and I believe there's a right time for everything. So last year at some point, like we both was talking, you know, and then I've already linked Doogie, because he made the beat. What now? You know, I was like, I want you to do a song, like a beat for me and SD, you know, because this year, you know, I definitely feel like, you know, I'm gonna have him on the song. So I want you to do a beat, and I want you to create the beat in his own, like in his own way of music. Like even it doesn't have, because I believe anything that he's gonna accept, anything that he's gonna feel like is his vibe, I can jump on it and make a killer too as well. So we were chatting on Instagram, both me and him. So we were talking about collabos. So I was like, you know, I want to have you on my upcoming album. He's like, yeah, even I myself, I want to have you on my upcoming album. You know, but it happened to be that mine came first. You know, so I went to the studio, I did my hook, I did my verse, I sent it to him. He came and then checked it out, and then he did his verse, and then he laid it.
Yeah, that was a banger. Tanatila was a big hit, and it's a different vibe from the vibe that I listened to.
Yeah, because the thing is, the thing is, when I sent him the song himself, SD, when I sent him, it was like, you know, if me and you have to do a song, I believe it has to be, you know, a hot song. I'm like, nah, man, this is gonna make waves, because you know why? A lot of people would have expected that Hussain Dada and SD will come with a song. They're gonna be ego tripping, you know. We run this game. You understand what I mean? You know, but like thinking about all the controversies and the negative energy that was going on last year, I didn't want to come up with something like that, because whatever it is that, you know, we both got going on, I don't want it to get mixed with any other thing. So that's why, you know, we came with a record like Tanatila, because the people were expecting something different. We gave them something that was gonna be motivational or inspirational somehow.
Yeah, at some point, Usaina, between you and Jizzle, like there is this relationship between you and Jizzle, and there was a time last year, if you could remember, last year, most of your fans and Jizzle fans on Twitter and on TikTok were a little bit clash. Yeah. The time you had an interview with, I don't know, VM, you mentioning you being the number 2 or ST being the number 1. Yeah. There was this little bit controversy, like, you know, between your fans. I'm not talking about you. No. There was this controversy on, like, they've been TikToking a song from Jizzle. Yeah. Like talking about like, you know. Yeah, I know that song. I've when you are together, you know, you like. I've seen all of that, but like I believe like Jizzle was never directing those songs to me, because like it would be stupid, like, you know, dissing somebody that you have on a record, like on an album. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense. So I believe, you know, he was talking to a different individual, because like I've seen people that took that very personal. Artists that took it personal, but I never took it personal, because I knew it was never something that was directed to me at the first place. You know, and then I know a certain time that somebody, you know, really said something that has to do with him. You know, towards, you know, his claim for whatever it is, title he is. So I believe maybe the record was because of that, because I've never talked shit about talked shit about Jizzle on the internet. You know, it was always love, because this is a person that has inspired me in so many ways, even though I'm older than him, you know, for like a month or so, but like I always have looked up to him, like somehow, you feel me, because he had been here before me, like, you understand, and you gotta be a believer. You know, the statement I made last year on the interview is that anybody's entitled to your opinion, you know, and I'm talking about a current point of view of mine. Like, this is where I state myself at. Anybody can come and say, he is number 75, he is number 1, you understand, you are entitled to your opinion, but that's my opinion. And I don't feel like Jizzle himself had a problem with me claiming that. Like, but the fans are the fans. I cannot tell the fans what to do. You know, the reason why I'm asking about that time was like, when they released that interview, that was the time when Jizzle and Mauls, the song Masibo was not out yet. But they just cut that 4
and
lines.
then put it on the Twitter.
Put it on
TikTok, sorry.
Buma this online hanga soma gise nga fong man real life. Number one, you know, that was the time they just released that portion, and the fans were like really gravitating to that portion of
but
it.
you know, like it's just a coincidence that both happened at the same time.
It happened.
But okay, after a month, fans started taking it out of like my own side and directing it to somebody else. Yeah, so you know, but like it was like you said, it was a coincidence.
Yeah, it was a coincidence.
I happened to say that in an interview at the very time that he happened to do that, because to be honest with you, when I was saying that in the interview, I never thought that it was gonna go out like that.
Yeah.
But like when I said it, when they asked me, it was like the interview was with Fatu Network last year. So when this guy asked me, where did you rate yourself in the Gambian? I'm like top 2. I didn't even put a top 3. You know, and then he asked me like, who do you feel like is, and then I say a certain name, like I feel like this is the number 1, like, and I feel like I'm at number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
Okay, I left that interview and I went for another interview just 30 minutes after.
Yeah.
So it was already on the internet. So this person I was having interview is like, man, why did you say you were number 2? I'm like, where did you hear this from? She was like, it's on the internet already. I'm like, damn, bro. And this thing keeps trending for like a whole fucking month. Everybody was just on it. Like, I'm like, man, I need to be careful about what I be saying on the internet, you know, because this shit, they go crazy.
I will just say that, like, Hussain Dada is always one of the best in the Gambia. Like, you've been the number 1 or number 2, all that.
Man, to me, actually, it doesn't matter. Because
it doesn't matter.
Like I told you, like
I've
learned that, like I've learned from my mistakes that I didn't even have to make a statement like that. I had to leave it to the fans to say
decide
who's number 1, who's number 5, who's number. Those are the fans. They have to decide by it. You know, but like I told you, you know, sometimes you never know the power of like an interview. You never know the power of media till it strikes you, like till it strikes you. Like that's the time you know, oh my God, man, this is the kind of power into like these interviews they carry.
And between you and Jizzle, there is always this cool relationship.
Like, to be honest with you, in
one
the music,
of the biggest songs from Jizzle and Hussain Dada's career is between you and Jizzle.
Yeah,
like
Jalika, Wanna Get Rich. You know, like we always go crazy. And like to be honest with you, I have the most closest relationship in the industry with Jizzle than any other artist.
Yeah.
Like he's the closest person. Like the way we vibe, I don't vibe with any other person like that, because like you look at ST, like it's not the same age with me. Like you feel me? So that respect I always give him as an older brother in that. But Jizzle, that's my twin. Like that's my family. Like you feel me? So we always have that, like, you know, that rapport between us. So it's always like love. Like you feel me? So it would be crazy. Like if I see people have to come in between that, it won't make any sense.
Let's talk a little bit spiritual. On your career, like Hussain Dada, like which time do you normally write your songs? In which of your moments do you write most of your songs?
Well, actually, if I tell you I have a specific moment writing songs, I'll be lying to you. You know, it depends. Like me, the way I write songs is that like I listen to a beat. Like right now, you play me a beat. If I can make 2 lines on that beat or 4 lines, like I play a beat and like trust me, I wouldn't want that vibe to cut without killing that verse. Like if the beat plays and then I see myself going deep into it, I always want to kill it, because I know once I just leave it, the vibe might just go away. So I always want to catch that vibe. I always want to make sure that, you know, that vibe is in me. But I don't have a specific time that, okay, this is a specific time that whenever I listen to a song, this specific time. And I see artists, some of them say late night, some of them say early in the morning, some of them say evenings, but I don't really have a time.
Yeah, from the beginning of your career, from all of your songs, Hussain, which song is one of your best songs? Like if you sit down and listen to the song, from the flow, the style, everything, like you'll be like, hey, is this Hussain Dada?
Katrina. Yeah. Reason why I said Katrina is because Katrina was like a spiritual song, man. Like that's not me. Like I've never ever thought of doing a song like Katrina. You know, so Katrina, it wasn't even supposed to be part of my project back in 2021. It was just me, Young Epps, like, you know, Young Epps, like, you know, I used to mentor him, like I used to coach him and stuff like that. We was a stylish studio for like we were recording a different song. I was there to record a different song, but like my producer Pluto sent me that Katrina beat, but I've never did anything on it. So we were going back home, and on the car, I just connected to the Bluetooth, and then I played the Katrina beat. I was like, Epps, like, you know, I want us to do something on this. You know, I want us to do like, can you give me a melody, because you know Epps is a very good artist, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you create a melody? So he said, you understand what I mean? He said, like, so we went straight to the house, to the home. We had a studio at house. Like now we left Stylish, we're at home. We're in the studio at the home, at the house. We keep playing the beat. This guy will come with this flow, I'll come with this flow. So we created that, like we created the hook together.
Yeah.
Shorty is a freak, going on around session. Like, you know, we created that. So, and then I just came with, but me I want moolah, me I want cash. You know, so like that very night, it was like 3 a.m. I was like, I can't sleep without recording this. So I had to go back to Stylish Studio and then I recorded. But like it was some places that were left that I didn't complete. So the next day I had to go back and complete the song. And then now we were to shoot another song. But when I had Katrina, I had to say, no way. This is the one we should. Like I just had a great feeling about that song.
Katrina.
You know, so it's a song that whenever I listen to it, it comes with a lot of memories, and then it just gives me that.
On the video, on the video, the model on the video, was it your wife?
Come on, man.
No, people are like, yo, come Bella.
Hell nah, bro. Nah, man.
It's not your wife?
Nah, bro. I wasn't even married by then.
Yeah, you were not married, but then like people were like,
nah, man.
After then you married Kombe, people were like, do Kombe money on studio with Katrina?
Man, I believe they were just making that up. That was,
Okay.
But she was at the ground. Like when we were shooting, she was there. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
And we shot the video at this Upcast Creek over there. Around Fonyi or Upcast, Upcast. So that's where we shot the video.
Hussain, like we getting closer to the end of your conversation on the podcast.
Yeah.
Now there is this project that you're working on since last year.
Yeah.
So before talking about the project, that is the international Localo. Now let's talk about a little bit about Hussain Dada on the way you drop your albums.
Yeah.
The way you drop your projects.
Well,
like
actually,
some artists be like they will be dropping albums every 2 or 3 years. But recently, since you've
started dropping, I drop every year.
Every year you drop.
Yeah. Well, actually, like, you know, it depends on the vibe, and then it depends on, like, because, you know, Gambia, like, as in, if I was in Nigeria, America, I could go for 3 years, just depending on one album. But Gambia doesn't work like that, unfortunately, you know, because Gambia,
if you stop making noise,
exactly, it's the songs that bring people to your show. And then, like, I can, as an artist right now, I don't believe that, like, people are gonna accept me doing an EP, because 2023, this year, to be honest, I never planned on doing an album. But one day I was sitting with my nephew, and I was like, you know, this year I want to do an EP, you know, and we're gonna go to Q City. It's like, are you crazy, bro? It's like nobody's gonna come to your show, bro. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, no, you know, I'm gonna do an EP, man. 6 songs, 5 songs. People are gonna come. It's like, bro, my advice is go and work on that album. You know, and then me, I'm a type of person that once something doesn't sit right in my head, if I do it, like 90% or 85% mostly, it all goes wrong. So now this guy, his words are sitting in my head. I'm like, yeah, man, shit. Because you know what, album to work on it is very difficult, man.
Yeah, it's not
you need
easy
to pile up like 12, 13, you know, so it was a difficult thing. So I went and I met Stylish. I'm like, bro, like, I don't believe we're gonna do that EP anymore. You know, we're gonna work on that album. And it was like, you know, album. I'm like, yeah. So that's how we worked on this whole album in 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. We've already worked on like 10 to 11 songs, like me and Stylish, because I was going to studio every day. Like every day. So like, okay, there were a couple of songs that they were on the album that I've already deleted, like I've already taken them off and added others. Those were the only songs. But before I even left for Europe, we have already recorded like, let's say 85% of this whole album. And that was back in June. So, you know, that's how we did it. If you put your mind to it, like, you know, your dedication.
The reason why I'm asking that, there is this Facebook post I saw last time. It was around when you first release your first flyer that you were going to release in an album, and the date of your launch, the date of your launching at this place, the new place you're talking about here. Like, there were people commenting on the post that Hussain Dada boy, dafa wanna relax, but next year boy, dafa buga halis. You know, like he be like, dafa wanna hard, but next year, you know, last year la launch, so dafa wanna hard, you know. And the comments, people were like kinda, you know, your fans were kind of controversing with the post, and people were like, you know, Hussain is on his peaks. He needs to be working.
Exactly.
He don't need no time to be wasting.
So those same people,
like,
those same people that were saying, Hussain Dada want to relax by next year. I believe somebody relax on by next year. They're the same people that are gonna bash me at the end of the day. So people are always gonna talk.
Yeah.
Like since Hussain Dada so talking like 6 months, 7 months, no song. They be like, boy, some boy be tired lyrics be Jenna, boy, hang up.
Yeah,
you feel so.
Yeah, let's talk about the song itself, international, local.
Yeah.
Like before your trip to Europe, European tour, you first released the snip of that song.
Yeah, that's
before you go to Europe.
Yeah, we started the TikTok challenge.
The TikTok challenge for it. Talking about your relationship with Uche.
Yeah.
Recently, like last year, you've been in a big beef with Uche.
Year before last.
Yeah. Now, the reconcile of you and Uche, dropping international local, naming it after your album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be a little bit controversial, a little bit like.
But it's needed for you to ask questions like that. So
many of your fans or many of Gambian music fans be like, Hussain Dada, si Uche la de yakare hook sami, si Uche la de yakare hit song sami. Like. That is the voice of the street. Come like street beat nyoko dewa. Hussain, the people Uche problem. Like he's not been releasing big songs like the other big banger that you did with Uche. Like that is
Roses with Chanta.
Yeah. Like the people who know, album
but listen.
Road drill musim nyore ak drill rek.
Before like I even collaborated with Uche this year.
Yeah.
I had Realize, which is one of my biggest records. I have Buy, which is one of my biggest records. I had Katrina, which is one of my biggest records. I have Nafiko, which was one of my biggest records. So I have all these songs. So do you think like if I was relying on you can say there are few artists in Gambia that you can say maybe they rely on futures too much. But me as a person, when I started music, I didn't even believe in futures. I believe like every song I need to be like, that's how greedy I am. Like I just want to be on every song myself. But after you have to understand that music is bigger than that. Because the more you collaborate, the more you expand yourself. Because sometimes the artist that you're collaborating with, his fans, they don't know you. But like Uche is my bro, it's my family. So like about the international local. The very night I started writing it, the moment I listened to the beat, I started writing the lyrics. The first person that came to my head was Uche. That was about like 2 a.m. in the morning, like at night, midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I called him, but I couldn't reach him that very night because I was so like I didn't want this vibe. I just wanted to create this. So the very next day he called me back and I was like, bro, I'm sending you this beat. I need you to put a hook on it now, like. So that's how I sent it to him. We never had this international local as a mindset. It was never there. So he just did the hook and then he sent it back to me. I'm like, bro, this is it.
It's a killer.
Like, this is it. Like,
that's the mindset that you're having. And me personally, I'm having that. There is this mindset on me. Musically, there is no like he is the person who is making me have hit songs. In some cases in life, there is this partner that is your soulmate or your partner in everything that you're doing.
Definitely.
Anytime you collaborate or you do something with that guy, it's always a massive. It's always a blessing.
Yeah, that's
your songs with Uche, since you've started making collaboration with Uche, are always dope.
Yeah,
they're always dope songs with you and Uche and Chana.
Yeah.
So it's a fair deal, and like the mindset too that you are having too, it's a positive mindset. You would have been like, mangi ama Uche problem ya good. So do mako feature word he na suma fancy, but he didn't hanga come like. Because of
but before I even featured him, it was him that featured me first on the song called Ile. Even though the song didn't have the public, it didn't have the promotion, it didn't have the attention that it deserved. But like it was one day I was sitting and he called me like it was like I want to have you on the song. I'm like why not? And then I rolled to the studio and then I did my verse. The song was out, it's still out. Ile that came before international local. But he told me like the reason why I have you on this song is because people are not expecting that me and you are gonna be on any song anytime soon. So I had this song and I believe I have to have you on the record. So that's how we did it. But fans always talk, man.
They always talk.
That's part of this. It's part of the
now
work.
the project. Let's talk about the project. Like the project is how many track album?
We're having 12 songs on the album.
12 songs on the album.
7 features.
7 features.
Yeah.
So how do you rate the album? Like personally, like with the last one,
Yeah. Well, my last album, I don't rate my last album like that because you know why? That's the chosen one. It has 2 of my biggest songs, which is Darangai Yep and Tana Taylor. But I can say the rest of the songs they never made an impact out of the album. You feel me? Yeah, because at that point, I dropped the album last year, December, but like you can tell that it was pressure that lead me to, because I couldn't drop an album with 8 songs. You know, I wouldn't want to do that. But like that album, it only has 8 songs. You know, but I still released it because like the fans were like, you know, we were waiting for the album. Your show came, the show was already done. We didn't see album, so you know, where's the album? So I just had to release it. You know,
talking about that album, that Dada Nga Yap song.
Yeah.
Was it a coincidence on your album? Because me, I was expecting more songs that will be bigger than that song. Dada Nga Yap.
Yeah. So Dada Nga Yap was never even it was never on my mind. Like I used to see kids call me Dada Nga Yap. I'm like, what is this guy saying?
You know, when that song came out, every performance of Dada on Queen City was shut down with
Dada
that
Nga Yap just changed the
and
whole.
And the video was like,
that it was
pull up a lot of views on YouTube.
It was a different dimension. Like
and the vibe was a little. It was just a simple vibe.
Yeah, just like Nimbo, Selector Stage.
Yeah,
but it was catchy. Yeah, because I could remember the very first day I posted Dada Nga Yap the hook on TikTok and Instagram. It was going crazy, bro. These people kept doing videos. I'm like, bro, this shit is gonna be big. Yeah, that's why I didn't release a video for it almost a month. Yeah, I didn't even release the song almost a month. People were just doing videos on TikTok, so it was going crazy, you know. So Dada Nga Yap was a big record, and like God helped me. After Dada Nga Yap, I had Tana Taylor. These 2 songs, you know, they were just complementing each other. Like they were going crazy everywhere. So, you know, but the album, you know, it kind of lacked that substance that it was requiring. And I myself, the promo towards the album, you know, was a little bit dull. But like this international local, you know, okay, people are like, nah, you're never gonna make an album like Bad Boy Dada. That was 2021. I'm like, okay, let me just sit. Maybe I left you guys.
No, international local is a classic.
Yeah, but international local,
it's a classic song.
I believe that musically,
the vibe.
This is the time that I've made matured songs. Songs that you can listen to and be like, oh man, this guy's evolving, you know. Like now he's really getting into that top boy, and then that maturity, that mature
the rapping skills on that one, the skills and the rhymes and everything, like, you know, it's super dope. And like Uche killed it dope.
Yeah, man.
He killed it dope, man.
And the video was crazy, man.
No, right now Ann is really just doing justice on your visuals, man. Even the last video you just did was really massive, man.
He was going crazy. He's just going crazy with it. He's just going crazy.
Now talking about the project still, you know, like the project was all sponsored by Dada?
Yeah. Myself and Stylish.
And Stylish?
Yeah, Stylish.
It's a collaboration.
He played a very big role. It's a collaboration. That's why we split we are splitting the distribution fees like 50-50. Yeah, because like most of the beats were paid by him, you know, and then the mix and mastering I've never paid for anything. So it's a split project between me and him. You know, so most of the songs we even worked on them together. You know, the melodies and stuff, because like Stylish really helped me in like becoming a good singer. I could say rap, you know, I do rap. That's what people know me with. But like as a singer, Stylish really helped me, you know, because in most of my songs you can even hear his vocals on the ad libs, like the song like Bye. You know, you can hear his voice were flowing in the ad libs and stuff like that, because he helps me with that, harmonizing the songs and all of that. So you know, that's my man, that's my family. You know, right now I can call him like, Stylish, man, where you at? And I'm there. Like, you know, that's the kind of bond we have now. Like, that's my family.
Yeah. Big up Hussain Dada. One of the biggest thing right now in Gambia. You know, me, I rate you from everything, you know.
Yeah, man.
From your swag, the style, you know, the music, everything, you know, lifestyle, everything. Dada, one of the most humble artists. Dada, you know, like we talking about your launching. That is the international local.
December 9.
Yeah. So what are the surprises, man? What are the surprises?
Well, actually, I wouldn't really sit here and say we're gonna have this surprise, we're gonna have this. But like, I believe the music will make the difference. You know, because this year, you know, what I really want to do, like 2021. My music really made the difference that year, you know, because the album, when it came out back in 2021, you know, everybody was like, yeah, this guy is here to stay. You know, so with this album, that's the same thing I want to do again. You know, the album is coming out in a week, inshallah, because it's going to be out on the 10th of November, which is Friday, like this Friday coming the one after it. You know, so the album is coming out, and people are like, when I dropped the cover art, people were like, man, this cover art is crazy. Shout outs to Jados for that. So like, I want the music to speak for itself. I want the music to tell the people that, that this concert is gonna be different. Towards the sound. Like you listen to the sounds, you be like, man, Hussain Dada is going crazy this year. Yeah. So
big up yourself, Hussain Dada. Hussain Dada, like we've seen you gone to a European tour, like most of the people normally say in the Gambian artists from Tuke, you know, then they dem rek dunde ñëwaati.
Yeah.
You know, like you've been seeing a lot of, you know, I big up to the younger generation. That is like from T Small's generation coming to ST to your generation with the jizzle and the stuff. You know, we've been seeing that every artist that have gone to European tour,
they've been coming back.
Yeah. So what is the spirit behind it, and what is the motivation behind it? Because
actually, you know, I don't see a way that I could go to Europe and want to stay there. Like to be honest, like I feel like the lifestyle there, you know, it's like a general, like a start, like overall. You need to go learn the language. You know, you need to be in a class. You know, you need to like find for work and all of that. You know, I cannot lie to you. You know, maybe this is the first time seeing it in an interview, but I was in a hurry to come back to Gambia. Yeah, I fly. You know, I can remember me and ST was at the airport with Stone Killer. Like, you know, the day we were supposed to come, our flight got cancelled. Like, our tickets got cancelled. We were at the airport. We were so pissed that these guys, they were like, bro, but you guys are going back to Africa. Why are you guys mad? I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go back to Gambia. You know, that's how, that was how eager I was to come back to Gambia, you know. You know, it was a great experience. I met a lot of great people. You know, I made family with a lot of people now that I didn't know before. But like, I believe, you know, Gambia, you know, that's the dream. Like, you know, let's go and make that impact and come back.
Yeah, come back. Yeah. Hussain Dada, in your life and your career right now, talking about your dreams, what is the next big target? Like, you know, you've achieved a lot.
Yeah, now
in your career, like, what is the next big target? You know, like.
Yeah, we've really done, like I could say, everything musically, you know. So now it's about like investing into business, you know, diving into something else. Like right now, what we're doing right now, this is one of my dreams. Starting a podcast, like a podcast that will make sense. Like, you know, you feel me? Invite artists, invite anybody. Like, you feel me? Just come. It's not even gonna be like an interview. Like, you know, we vibe. You know, we actually kind of like, these are things that I want to dive into. You know, but like I hope time will tell, you know, everything has a step, like, you know, from one to another, you know, but now we want to venture into other things that is not just music, you know.
Not music. You know, Hussain Dada, we've seen that also you've taken a great impact, that is a great move, that is getting married. Yeah. Getting married before you go to your European tour, that is last year. Yeah. What do you have to say to those artists that are still, you know, hanging without getting married, you know, living the lifestyle and living, you know?
Well, actually, I really cannot give 100% advice to anybody because, like, you feel me, people are not the same, you know. But what I can tell you is that, like, you know, marriage is a different, like, kind of, it's a different kind of feeling. You know, you become a different kind of person, you know, like, because now, you know, like, you just have another half. If you were 100, now you have 50 because, like, there's another 50 there. Like, you know, being married, you know, especially to somebody you've known for a while, like you've known them for years, you know, y'all been together and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful feeling, you know. You know, like one thing I can tell anybody out there, being a playboy, there is no happiness in being a playboy. That's the reason why I got married, because like I feel like you feel like, you know, you feel like, yeah, you the man 1 minute and next minute you feel like a shithole, like, you feel me? So it was never no happiness in there. So that's why that's what really led me into getting married.
Yeah, Hussain Dada, I'm still gonna be spiritual. I just want us to open up to the fans and just talk about everything. Hussain Dada, is there any moment or is there any time, you know, like there is this, you know, noise that is going on around social media and they come like artists, then they them sing, you know, then they sangu, then they them you gain sara, so I mean, so crap. Since the beginning of your career, you know, spiritually, you know, did you like, are you into any kind of, you know, like going to marabouts or people going to marabouts for you? Because, you know, because the reason why I'm asking is that, you know, you see artists going flopping down, you know, they're not working anymore, or they're not in the music business anymore, or no, they're not releasing songs anymore. They'll be complaining on songs like then maligay.
Bro, let me tell you one thing, yeah. You see, artists need to stop deceiving themselves.
Yeah.
Number one is this bullshit that artists always tell themselves, but all this crap. You know, if they're working on you and it's working, like, that's because, like, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Like, number one, like, you're not working, your head is not straight anymore. There are times that I cannot write one lyric. I could say that, hey boy, job kind of, you understand? But I cannot say that because your mind is not always actively working as a human being, especially when you are stressed, especially when you don't have money. That like you understand, you are stressed, like you understand. So things like that can affect your ability to write music. You know, all this like setting to, and I know that artists do it. Like, you know, I've had a couple of artists that would even tell me, you know, boy, I'm like, bro, like, how can somebody, an individual, a human being, how can they make me famous? Like, how? I'm like, bro, y'all need to stop this nonsense, bro. You know, but like, you believe, like, I know that music, what I'm doing actually, okay, might not be with my religion, you know, it might not be in the same sect. You know, but that will never ever make me stop believing in God. Like, you feel me? Like, okay, let me just give you an example. Yesterday, I was going to the masjid for, it was an Asri prayer. And then I passed this woman. And she was like, my little boy is at home. And he said, if he didn't see you going to the masjid, he's not going to go. You know, for a minute, I was like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really, I'm like not a role model to these guys to become what I am, like a musical artist or whatever. But I'm a role model to these guys because I'm going to the masjid every day. Every single prayer, they see me going to the masjid. And now they want to go because you know why? Hussain Dada is there. So I'm like, alhamdulillah, you know, I give thanks to the Most High for that. You know, as a human being, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Always be close to the Most High. Because you know why? Once you're close to the Most High, you wouldn't have those thoughts that people are working on you, bro. I could have said that, okay, back in 2017, there was this artist, you know, one day I was driving with him. He went to this Marabut guy and it was like, you know, you need to come to this guy, you know, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this guy is crazy, man. this guy is crazy. You know, those are things I've never believed because you know why? Like, I'm too connected to the one that created me. So if I'm too connected to him, why would I ever think that an individual can do something for me that the Most High cannot do? So it has never been my thing. And one thing that God really blessed me, I'm not talking about artists, but everybody I used to roll with that's not an artist, I've never had a friend that's close to me that is really into stuff like that. Yeah, because God will not bring somebody that close to you that is into like going, you know, we all dislike it. Like we all have the same energy towards it, like you feel me? So it's never been something, you know, I believe tomorrow, if I don't know how to write lyrics anymore, if my music are flopping, I will know that the music now is not the same way. My thinking capabilities have reached to the limits like that my power can afford, like you feel me? But I wouldn't say that it's another individual going elsewhere, blocking my brain from thinking, bro. Like that's crazy, you know. Yeah. So I believe people. Yeah.
We are getting closer to the end of the podcast. It's a nice conversation. I know many people will learn from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Hussain, like now, like looking at you before you get married, there are some few artists that I can be a witness on that. Anytime they release a song, like I can. You were talking about your Dadanga the challenge on Dadanga.
Yeah.
But there is this trend on every Dada song. You know, you see girls, people I know doing challenges on your music. The reason why I asked about that spiritual stuff first before I come to this converse or this question or this point is that most of the people will be like, Dada boy, that day songs, Yaya Moko Sanga, Papa Moko Sanga. You know, like, you know, sometimes love comes naturally.
Yeah.
You know, me, I've been in the music business. You know, the luck that you guys are having right now, the love that you guys are receiving online, social media, you know, in the beginnings of our career, we haven't got this kind of love. It's natural, you know. Sometimes it's from the person, it's from the blood.
Exactly.
You understand? It's from the blood, you know, and it's from the humbleness of the person, you know. You know, there is no way you're gonna meet up with Hussain Dada. You catch up vibe, you catch up, you know, conversation. Then Hussain Dada will leave, and you pour ahead on Hussain Dada's, you know, name. Yeah. Because Hussain Dada is always positive.
Definitely.
There is this thing I tell always to the young ones. Like Solem Buge am a career, ngen diagasi industry bi. You know, always be humble.
Yeah.
You know. Sometimes artists will be releasing a song. You will never see anybody that will challenge that song. It's because of the behavior that they used to have between them and the people and the where you even living. You know, you don't expect to be a celebrity whilst you are not a celebrity yet. You want to act like a celebrity to the people. And now, when you release a song and you release a project, you want people to grace.
The same energy you give, that's the same energy you get.
Yeah.
You know, if you give positive energy, they give you back positivity.
Yeah.
If you give negative, you get negative.
Yeah.
But like, okay, one point you made clear. It's belief. You know, everybody, like, we all have our belief. You know, in the music industry, people believe that there is no artist that can make it without going to a marathon. Number one. Number two is they believe that there is no artist that can be on stage and then be actively normal without taking illegal substance.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a belief that people have in their heads. So, okay, now, who are these beliefs really disturbing? This belief is really disturbing, you know who? The upcoming artists. Because if they're not educated, if somebody's not out there telling the upcoming artists that they just fabricating all this stuff, it's all lies, you will believe that this is how you have to be if you're in the industry. Like, you have to get high. How can you perform for people when you are high? You will definitely say things that you don't want to because you are not in your right sense. You know, so I believe it's nonsense telling somebody that, hey, boy, they want to high balanga stage, boy. All of that is nonsense, bro. I've never believed in that. You know, I'm not a saint. You know, we are all not saints. We are all sinners and that. But like, let's try and advise each other to do good. You know, tell somebody something that will help them, not somebody. Okay, because when I used to smoke, like I used to smoke a lot back in 2018, early 2019. There was this day I was at the open mic. You know, we were rehearsing for the open mic, you know, and then ST saw me, I was like smoking. He came to me, was like, bro, it's like, if you are a newcomer in this smoking, please leave it from now. Wallahi, I'm not lying. It's like, leave it from now. He said, you know what? It's going to drain your energy. It's going to eat your money. Like, you feel me? It's going to take a whole lot of energy from you. You know, but at that point, I didn't understand. I'm like, man, what is this guy talking about? I'm going to be smoking. But as time goes on, I started seeing the effects. You know, I started losing weight. You know, I look more like a great, like, you understand what I mean? So I knew this was what he was talking about. Even though, you know what he told me? He said, if I can live this, if I had the amount of money, even if it's billions, for me to leave, if I have to give everything that I have just to leave smoking, I will. You know, and then that thing was sticking in my head. I'm like, this guy is preaching something to me. And when I left, that's the same vibes that I understood that it was never a good thing for me, you know. And I'm really glad that, you know, I happened to leave that behind me. And now I'm just focusing on, you know, something else.
MashaAllah. Big up yourself, Hussain Dada. Now, let's talk about your mindset, the business mindset on Hussain Dada's head. You've been working with a lot of people, but always Hussain Dada is on the right move, on the next step for his success and level.
Yeah.
You know, there is this little thing I've observed on you. I don't know whether people are seeing it, but I just want us to talk about it. Your manager, current manager, Busso. Busso was working with Jizzle.
Yeah.
With the relationship you have with Jizzle.
Yeah.
For me personally, I don't know whether people are commenting on that.
Yeah.
I'll be like, Hussain, like, Mama, Jizzle, you get over close.
Yeah.
Like, lady, Jizzle, how can Jizzle have a problem with Busso?
Busso, okay.
Next step, like, Hussain is taking Busso as his manager. Yet still, Hussain is still in the good terms with Jizzle.
That's because as a human being, Jizzle knows the kind of person I am. You know, if I was a bad individual, if I always had bad intentions for him, you know, he will feel like, man, he's trying to get at me. But Jizzle knows there is no way on planet Earth that somebody can come to me and that because they had a problem with Jizzle and I happen to take anybody's side. I will always be neutral. Busso, in the other hand, is a manager. That's his job. He can manage like 10 artists at once, just like a football manager, football agent. Like you manage different footballers and stuff like that. And when I started working with Busso and Jizzle, they cool. Even though like they're not the same, but they cool. Like when they see each other, it's all love and stuff like that. And I believe they ended their working times with mutual interest. Like they all came to an understanding and then a very point and said like, you know, okay, we have worked, we have achieved a lot, but now we feel like this is the ending point of it. You know, you wish the other person well, and he wishes you well, and then, you know, you both. It has never affected me and Jizzle's relationship in any way, you know. So
thanks for making that clear, and everybody that is watching the podcast will understand that like it's not about ne Hussain dafa jël Busso si loxo
Hell no.
Jizzle.
Come on.
You know, like, you know, sometimes behind the scenes,
people say,
people see stuff's happening and like they be like creating their own type of stories and creating their. So like Hussain, like want us to end this conversation and the podcast. I just want to pray for you and like more success and more, you know, blessings on your way, you know, like career and everything that you are hoping for, like lepo lo xamantene ni ibe mun dani kan ala ya di la ila career to ala wa sonendi fe ila muso mbije ala ma sola, you know, ding kambanding wala muy halon ko abina Hussain Dada fanang, you know, abine la place o tala le, you know, like Hussain Dada, like what are your last words on the podcast?
My last words, you know, to the people watching us, you know, I want to say a big thanks to you guys. Always support Gambian music. It doesn't have to be an individual, it doesn't have to be Hussain. It always has to be about Gambia, you know, because at the end of the day we are all doing it for the betterment of this country and stuff like that, you know. So y'all always stay positive too. Let's always see the positive side of everything before diving into a negative. And then I will send a shout out to you, Ultimate, you know, because from the first day I know you, you have always been doing stuff for Gambian music. You have never asked for butut or whatever, you know. So I'm just gonna say, you know, I'm proud of you because like I always see you from one level to another. I've never seen Ultimate coming from this level and going back, like, you feel me? You're always like the way I stepped in here and then I saw the studio, I saw the way it was, I'm like, whoa, oh man, Ultimate is making moves, like, you feel me? So I'll just pray to God to keep blessing you and your team, you know, to keep you guys united, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, you see people today, tomorrow you see them with different people. I will now want to see that same thing with you and your people, you know. I pray that God will bless you guys, you know, and then keep you guys doing
there is a little history between me and Hussain.
If you could remember, we all have the same birthday, man.
If no, that's the other side of it. But if you could remember, there was a day, you know, on the YouTube channel Johnny. The day I called you like around 3 o'clock in the night. I told you, Hussain the boy channel, YouTube channel, boy lost number.
me and T just released a video like 3 days. Like we released the video today. 2 days after that
boy, the channel was off on Google, boy.
It was disappeared.
The channel was disappeared, boy. The strike was, boy. Then I'm on like 3 strikes. But Hussain Dada helped me through that journey, boy. Through that, you know,
because I knew how helpful you were towards whatever.
But that was a really hard moment for me. But those 2 weeks, boy, Hussain, boy. But it was really hectic, boy. But shout out, I wanna say a big thanks to that guy in UK, the artist. He's the one who strike on us. When I called him, I explained to him that we were just on a promotional, you know, we are promoting his content. Then he retrieved the content that he strike. Then YouTube returned the YouTube channel to us.
That's great, man. Shout outs to him, by the way, man.
Yeah, really shout outs to him, you know. So Hussain, like I want to thank you a lot, you know, for respecting and coming, to receive my invitation and just coming to be on the podcast, you know. So we want to say a big thanks. December 9 is gonna be QCD is gonna be really shut down, you know. It's gonna be another big thing. But Hussain, like Moli Ajele come like this year for artists place on you. Wale certain bang for girl mang hanyile bang. Even old man here back, you know.
Yeah, man, they're talking about 200K for that ground, like, you know me. So boy, you cannot pull that, bro. Definitely you will not want to go for it, you know. I just hope that the government, you know, they're gonna build and like they're gonna build a place for us that will contain many people, you know, because it's not easy, you know. You look at the Gambian music, you know, and then somebody like paying 200K for just a ground, happen to pay 200 plus for sound system and stage. So it's not really easy, like, you feel me? So you will understand why artists will definitely choose another place. But anyway, shout
I saw
out to
DJ
Paises,
Manjang Paises post about it.
He
was like concerned about you, so and like you guys paying just 200K just for the venue, opening gates and turning out lights. Without no sound system, without nothing.
Exactly.
But I hope ne like Mansakunda fana ni pareta estaro bala. Ni adra galman football.
Exactly. Let them just open it free for us, man.
Respect Hussain, you know.
Man, salute, man. Appreciate, man.
Jonyu bena jingle like you are watching. This is Hussain Dada. You are watching the Ultimate Podcast. Subscribe, you know.
Hey, yo, what up, my people? It's your boy Hussain Dada. You are watching the Ultimate Podcast. Subscribe and stay tuned on every other episode. Salute.